Hi guys, Lane here. Stormhanger is the new Abyss boss that we are having at the moment, and since this boss is heavily resisted against electric, this brings out a new build for Sharen if we want to tackle this boss using her. Now before we dive in, I just want to say that you should bring another characters for consistency if farming is what you are looking for. Anyway, let's go. Before we get into my run, I will explain a bit about this specific build. This build is possible thanks to a brand new trigger module, and that is the Kuiper Hollow Point. What it does is that it will increase our weak point damage for up to 30 stacks as long as we shoot anywhere else beside the weak point themselves. Now the stacks will be removed the moment we shoot at the weak point of the boss. Therefore, the strategy here is to make sure that we shoot to gain and try our best to maintain a maximum stack, because these modules give a crazy 240% weak point damage. There is only one gun I can think of that will provide good damage and at the same time fully utilize the value of Kuiper Hollow Point, and that is the last dagger. However, it is not the common fire rate build that we are thinking about. For the fire rate approach, we need to depend on the fast attack on the weak point, but that goes against the whole idea of Kuiper Hollow Points. Thus, what we are looking at is the maximum round magazine dagger. Basically, we charge dagger stacks to maximum, then use the burst shot together with Kuiper Hollow Points for even more damage. This approach is very good as the synergy between the two is perfect. We charge both at the same time without sacrificing too many stacks from the module. That way, we will always have the highest damage possible. However, there are a few downsides to this, so I will go over one by one. First is the ammo problem. Eventually, you will go out of ammo, so you will lose some times looking for ammo. One way to counter this is to use round conversion. This will make sure you always have the ammo to keep using the gun without switching to another one. Remember this, once we switch to another gun, the stacks will go away. So at some point, you might need to make a decision as to keep the stack or to switch the gun. And this is hard to say which is right or wrong, but rather really depend on your current fight situation. What I did was I used both ammo conversions and utilized max magazine from arcade tuning. This will keep my ammo very healthy during my entire run. You will see that later on in the video. Second, and I think this is probably the biggest downside to this build, and that is aiming. You can aim at everywhere on the boss, but to maximize damage, there is only one place you can shoot, that is the head, due to the affinity advantage. Usually, aiming is not a problem, but since this is Stormhanger we are talking about, where it keeps wiggling left and right, it is a challenge for some, if not most of us. Since dagger is the main gun, you can bring whatever you want to do damage along the way. My go-to gun is actually the eraser, since we have a bit more toxin resistant reductions. However, what you want to think of is that we will mostly use other guns to do damage or break weak points during the time where we don't have ammo for the dagger. The moment we gain ammo, back to the dagger ASAP for damage. The third gun is there for mobbing. I specifically set my build this way so it helps with the flow I usually go for. There is no recommendation here really, but I like to have my lance equipped so I don't have to aim. Other than that, I think relic is also a good call, but you might watch out for the ammo part. And there you go. That is the strategy for using Kuiper Hollow Point with the last dagger. Sharen's build and everything else will be shown after this. So enjoy the video, and please don't be so hard yourself because the aiming part is quite annoying to deal with, but I believe you will got this boss down in no time. So yeah, take it easy and bye bye.
This way. Come on. Shields are down.